G'day guys, my name is Kishan and I want to welcome you all to my new YouTube channel. Today's video I'm going to be talking to you about why I decided to take a career break or a gap year in the midst of COVID-19. Over the video I'll talk to you about why I chose to do so, how I prepared up for the gap year, what are the things I've done so far and all the great things I look forward to doing in the future. Before I get stuck into the video though, a bit of background about myself. I'm a 24-year-old chartered accountant living in New Zealand, and I spent about 3.5 years working at one of the big 4 accounting firms. About 7 weeks ago, I resigned from my job. I decided I'd had enough and I'm going to take a break. And so here I am now, making this video. I really hope you guys enjoy the video to come. There's a bit of information here you might find useful, so stay tuned. Cheers guys. The $1 million question, right? Why quit your job in the midst of COVID-19? I mean, unemployment rates are on the rise and the economy's uncertain at the moment. Should you take a career break at this time? Doesn't seem wise. I don't know. I don't have the answers to all those questions. However, I do know that there was 3 factors that I considered when I wanted to take my career break. And believe it or not, COVID-19 happening or not happening, I wanted to take my career break nevertheless. The 3 factors that I considered when wanting to take my career break was the repetitiveness and monotonous of daily life. The job that I was in wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. And the third thing was, and as cliche as it sounds, the self-discovery I was hoping to make. Factor number 1, repetitiveness and monotonous of daily life. How many times have one of you guys woken up and thought to yourself, I'm doing the same thing every day in, day out. I'm going to work, I'm coming home, going to the gym, having food, spending time with family or your friends, and you're doing the same thing again and again and again, but you're not becoming much happier. There's just something on repeat you're just doing every single day. I felt that way. I kept feeling that way. I almost felt institutionalized. And to that extent, I felt that I needed to break that chain and do something that I've never done before. So there it was, a leap of faith. And that's exactly what I took. I took something that I wouldn't do usually. I'm normally an organized person. I always make a plan to do everything. I thought, what if I break that chain? What if I break the chain of knowing what I want to do and do something that I don't know what I want to do and figure it out as it comes? And I will deal with the consequences. Whether good or bad, I will deal with them. But that's something that I wanted to take. Factor 2, my job. So I was working as an external auditor at one of the big 4 accounting firms. And look, it started off great. You know, there was a lot of great new connections and there was things that I was learning every single day. In fact, I was learning until the time I left the company. And it's a great platform to start on, don't get me wrong. However, over time, I just grew to dislike the job that I was doing. I didn't enjoy the things that I was doing. I didn't really believe in the job that I was doing. So I decided there's no point in sticking in a job that you don't like. And look, you do get comfortable in jobs. You know, the money that comes in every month, the stability of having something to do every single day, it gives you a purpose to life. But I wanted my purpose to be something that I wanted to do, not something that I thought would be easy and comfortable for me to do. So I decided that's not for me and I'm going to quit my job. And that was factor 2 addressed. Factor 3, self-discovery. Look, I know this sounds cliche and it all sounds a bit silly, but when I'm talking about self-discovery, I'm talking about challenging my fears. I'm talking about learning things that I wouldn't have done before. And I think this is definitely driven by the curiosity in me to do things that I haven't done before and see what the outcome would be. How far could I push myself? How much could I take? And so because of that, leaving a job and going into an abyss of absolutely nothing was something that was unfamiliar to me. And honestly speaking, it was scary. Even right now, it is a bit scary. I don't exactly know what I'm doing, even with this YouTube video. But it's something that I wanted to try. I want to give it a shot and I want to see what it actually makes me become. And that was a big part of who I am, and I've always wanted to channel that. So that's self-discovery. When preparing for the gap year, I asked myself 3 questions, and they were really important questions to me. How do I manage financially? How am I going to manage emotionally? How am I going to find a job? And how easy is it going to be finding a job? So to deal with the first question, in terms of financial stability, like I said to you before, about 6 months to a year ago, I was hoping to take this break and I wanted to go traveling. And given that it's so expensive to travel from New Zealand anywhere in the world, I told myself I have to save up big time. So 6 months to a year ago, I started putting money into my savings account, and I was saving everything that I could. So everything that I wasn't spending in a month was going into a separate savings account. And so I've been saving for about 6 or 7 months, just specifically putting money into that account. That meant that when I did quit my job, I can manage for about a year. Emotional stability. And I think this was an important one. You know, quite a few people say, oh my God, you've got so much free time on your hands, you're going to have so much fun. Others say, don't you get bored with all that free time? And the reality is, you can't have fun all the time. And the other extreme is, you don't get bored all the time either. The fact was, you need to find that good balance. And so what I told myself when I was going to leave my job was, I'm going to give myself a couple of projects that I want to do. And YouTube was one of those projects. So when I did leave my job and I took time off, I knew that as with the fun, there's going to come some points when I'm going to have to plan out my life and take on the projects that I want to do. And I was excited about these projects because these were things that I wanted to do. So even though it took time up and it was going to be hard at times, I knew that I'd have something that I'd have to do. So that's how I dealt with the emotional stability. The truth is, I don't know if I'm going to find a job at the place that I want or at the right time. And that still makes me a little bit nervous. However, when I did leave my job, I felt like I'd set myself up as well as I could have when I did leave. Look, when I looked at recruiters and the job descriptions of places that I'd like to work at, a lot of them did say about 3 years experience at one of the big four accounting firms and preferably qualified chartered accountant. So I worked towards spending 3 years there, and I worked hard to get my qualification as a chartered accountant. And this is not to be a brag, it's one of those things that when I knew what I wanted to do, I did my best to try and set myself up for it. So whether or not I get a job after this at the place I want to, I'm not sure. All I can say is I set myself up as well as I could have. To me, these 3 questions were important and a crucial part of how I felt prepared when taking that career break. And I think they're 3 important questions to ask yourself if you're considering taking that career break. How do you feel about being financially stable? Are you going to be emotionally stable? And have you set yourself up as well as you could have before you leave the job and you need to find another job? To kick it off, I'll tell you what I've done so far. It's been about 7 weeks since I've left work. I gotta tell you, it's been super enjoyable. Completely relaxing. I get to wake up late every day and I get to sleep in every day. It's been super fun in the fact that I get to watch a lot of Netflix as well. I haven't been keeping up to date. However, I've started watching Modern Family recently, and I know it's an old show, but it's hilarious and I love it. Give it a go if you haven't seen it before. I've also got a chance to get back into my fitness regimes, which is awesome because that's a huge part of who I am. So every day I pretty much get a chance to go to the gym, work out, take my time there, and come back home and rest it off. I've also got a chance to play the sports that I love. I've been playing a lot more basketball. I've recently started playing squash, which is an awesome sport as well. I've been getting a few walks in here and there, which has also been quite nice. I got a chance to spend more time with my volunteering organisation. I've also got a chance to play a lot more of my guitar. So it's been quite busy, to be fair. I've been spreading my time out here and there, and it's been quite enjoyable. I must say, one of the biggest lessons I've learned after all this free time and all this time to do all the things that I love is, for the first time, I feel that I'm fully attentive to everywhere that I am, and I'm super conscious of the things that I do. It's really nice because when I'm with the people that I love and with my family or my friends, it's just really nice just being there and being able to listen to everything that they're saying and actually be there and not think about my work or not think about what I have to do tomorrow or what I have to do on the weekend. It's really pleasant to actually be in the moment and appreciate everything that's going on in the moment. And also appreciating your emotions, whatever they may be, whether I'm happy or I'm sad. Just addressing it at that moment and not just pushing it down and dealing with it in weird sort of ways. So what do I look forward to doing? Look, I've got a few things that I've got planned ahead of me, and some of those are the projects that I told you I'd be working on before. One of those projects is the YouTube channel I'm currently working on. And so this is one of the videos that I've been working on, and it's honestly been such a nice process, a long process, and quite challenging a lot of the times, just trying to get the lighting and the cameras and doing these takes. It's been so busy trying to get all of that together. But it's been such a fun project, and I've had the time to do that things. The other things that I'm looking forward to doing is I've got a trip planned around New Zealand later this year. And hopefully I'm going to be able to travel around with the luxury of the lockdown being eased up and I do really hope that I'll be able to see the spots that I've got planned ahead of me. Apart from that, I think just doing the things that I've already been doing, you know, spending time with family, getting time to spend with my friends, being able to play sport as I wish, and also getting my fitness up. It's been really nice getting to do all of those things. So I guess that's what I'm really looking forward to doing, and all the great things that I've done so far. So there you have it, guys. That's the end of my first video on this new YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for watching it. If you've enjoyed the video or found it to be useful, make sure you hit that like button below and leave me a comment. Also, if you want to follow me through this journey, hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot more cool videos to come. I just want to leave you guys with one last message for all you Kiwis out there. I know we're going into our second lockdown and it's extremely frustrating, but make sure you guys are staying at home, staying safe, make sure you're using your masks if you're going outside, and using your hand sanitizer as frequently as you can. Spread the love, you know, check in all your family and friends, and stay strong. Kia kaha, guys.